Hello, 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 my fellow happy crafters. This is Leslie Klein, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and group owner of the Facebook group Paper Ink Love, here today with a tutorial. I have been making these cute little shaker shadow boxes. With Stampin' Up supplies. I got the idea from another demonstrator in the demonstrator planning place group. And I thought they would be really cute ideas to give as free gifts to my customers. And I started making them and got a lot of questions on how I did it and what I did and what I used. So I figured I'd show you guys. I have done different variations. So this was the one that I initially copied from the other demonstrator in the planning place. But you can get the frames in different colors and sizes and shapes. So here's another one I did with a gold frame, and I accented in gold instead of silver. This is the one we're going to recreate today. And then this one was initially a hot pink frame, but I painted it. So I wanted to show you you're not limited just because it's purple or hot pink and then you think, oh, I can't do anything with that. You can. I painted. I just diluted a dark green with white and mixed it, going for a mint macaroon kind of color to tie into the suite. You could probably use your Stampin' Up ink refills to get the exact color though if you really wanted to. You can see here where it used to be pink. So to start, we're gonna take our frame. So when you use your frame, the frames come from the dollar store. So super cheap, pretty accessible. It looks like this. Just a little shaker. Some of them have words on the inside, some of them don't. It'll come with this piece of paper on the back. Just rip it off. We don't need it. Get rid of it. And then you're going to take and undo these hinges so that this piece pulls out. And when it pulls out, it'll pull out with this kind of like it would in a photo frame. Toss that. We don't need it either. So I've already kind of started prepping my frame because it takes a little bit of work, but I wanted to show you guys that just because it has words on it, don't deter. So this one had words on it. You can still see I'm not done, but I wanted to show you how I removed that. So I initially thought it was vinyl, and I was looking up how to get rid of vinyl, but it's not, it's paint. So I talked to my fiance, who's pretty handy and nifty, and I don't know, he's jack of all trades. And I said, what can I use? And he gave me a razor blade with this little handle. So literally it just scrapes right off. Be careful, disclaimer, don't hurt yourself if you're a child, parental supervision. So you just scrape everything, and I don't know how well you can see. It kind of leaves a bit of a residue from the letters. That's okay, because we can get rid of that too. So initially I was just using rubbing alcohol, which was fine. It worked. I didn't have a problem with it. It served its purpose. But not everybody has rubbing alcohol. So simple household item, Windex. I did not spray this on the inside of the frame. I don't know why, but I'm sticking with what I've been doing because it seems to be working for me. So I just folded it and I just spritzed directly on the paper towel. Wipe off. This will pick up any of the, and my paint kind of like stripped, like rolled. So this will pick that up and clean up anything else that might be on it. Some of them have had weird smudge marks on them, like something was on them. I don't know what it was, but everything's been cleaning up pretty good. I just have like a little bit left here, but I wouldn't do it for like all of it, but my fingernail just gets it off just fine when it's just like a little bit. So do that. If you want to use the sequins that come in it, you can. For the pink one I did, this one came with pink sequins in it. So I just kept those, and I think I added a little bit of just random sequins I've had like laying around my house in there too, for white and stars and etc. This one, as you can tell, started here. I dumped these sequins. They didn't match. I just I think I saved them in a bag. I filled with my own. So you do have options there too. I initially was avoiding the gold frames because, oh, they've got the purple sequins and that's not going to match anything, and it's such a horrid color of sequins that comes in it. But it works. So to create this one, we need the Whimsy and Wonder DSP. We need the wonderful Snowflakes embellishments. We also need some of the gold specialty paper. I used the flat gold for this, but I ran out after this one, so I'm using the metallics paper that looks kind of brushed gold for this one that we're doing today, which is fine. I used white, the Whisper white ink for my sentiment, and the Basics white embossing powder and a heat gun for that. And then you'll want to decorate my tree. I used the champagne rhinestones. On all of my other ones, I just used the regular, the basic jewels, but because this one was gold, I thought that the champagne rhinestones would match it better. All of that said, let's get started. So now that our frame is cleaned, we are going to set it out of the way. So the first thing that we're going to do is have this paper I've just been cutting all kinds of things out of. This is from the Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper. It's the one that's got the little trees on it. And I think it's Misty Moonlight. So we're going to take, for me, I haven't realized if it matters which side of this is the front or the back. So, I mean, I guess it's the same size either way. So you're just going to take our multi-purpose adhesive. And hopefully with how this is cut, I can cover this. I can. And just line it up on two sides if I can, and then I just have to cut the other two. Just kind of rubbed it down and make sure it was really adhered. And I didn't want glue bubbles, so I just, after this, flip that baby over and X-Acto knife. I just cut right up against the frame backing. Sometimes it goes all the way through the first time. Sometimes I must not press hard enough. Now that that has let go, put our cap back on that because we don't want to cut our fingers. Flip back over, and this is going to be the background for our image. So now that we have this, I used the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and in the color Night of Navy, I cut the big one, and that's going to go here. But also in Night of Navy, you're going to want to do, it's the first size that fits the sentiment we're using, and we're using the may the love of the season warm your home and fill your heart. And this one, as you see, it just barely fits in. So it's the one we're going to use for that. And then you're going to take the next size up that one would layer into from the Stitch So Sweetly, and you're going to use that in your gold. So we're going to go ahead and glue this one onto the gold now, just so it's done and ready for us. And I just tried to center it. With this, because of the fact that we're going to have the shaker sequins in there, I've been trying to make sure that I get my glue as close to my edges as I can, because if anything I feel like is lifting up, the sequins are going to get stuck behind it, and that's not my goal. I want my sequins to shake freely. Free sequins. So then we're going to take our Night of Navy. Oops. and I positioned it like aligned left. Okay, now while that dries, we're gonna get to stamping. So for the trees for this one, I used the colors Mossy Meadow and Old Olive. So to start, use our paper. This is the Stamparatus. I just got mine. I love it, and I realized how perfect it was with the set. I'll explain it, but your magnets are stored under here. We initially thought that they forgot my magnets to include them, but nope, they just adhere right to it, so you don't lose them. So my stamps are just a little dirty still from me playing earlier, but we're gonna start with this one. And you're gonna place that where you would want it. And then that will pick it up. So as you see, I already have an image now because mine was dirty, but that's okay. So then we're gonna take the Mossy Meadow ink pad and we're just gonna ink our stamp and then lay this back down. And there's the basic image of our tree. So why I like the Stamparatus for this is this set also comes with this one, which should make ornaments for your tree. But if you just, I'll show you. Lay this down. And I accidentally moved in and picked it up, so hopefully I didn't just wreck that because it's a dirty stamp. Not horrible. So when you stamp this and you lay it down, because I'm doing it in the same color, you almost like lose those dots. You know what I mean? So I stamped mine multiple times, which is where the Stamparatus comes in handy. Without the Stamparatus, restamping these ornaments in the same exact spot every time is pretty difficult. I tried it the first time because I did this the first day that I got my Stamparatus, and I actually forgot that I owned a Stamparatus. And then I remembered, and I said, oh, I'll try it. So now we get, so you can really see those ornaments now, which is what we want. We want to see the ornaments. So now we are done with our Stamparatus. Just wanted to show you how I stamped that tree. Next, though, you would stamp two of these ones in the Old Olive. And then also stamping your sentiment in the Whisper White. You want to use the white embossing powder and then the heat tool. So you're going to stamp these. And after you stamp them, you're going to cut them out. I magically have mine cut out already. So we're going to set those aside. You'll also want in the gold the die set for the Whimsy and Wonder, Whimsical. So Whimsical trees and then the Whimsy Wonder dies. Comes with these, let me flip them, these two trees. And I did two in each size in the same gold that I used to back my sentiment. Okay? So, I have our sentiment. I also used the DSP. It has the presents on one side, but the other side is the Old Olive Mossy Meadow with the pink polkas berries. We need those too. So this is actually like so easy. So this is here, And I lay my sentiment down, but I don't glue it yet. But I lay it down so I can kind of decide where I want to put my trees. And this tree is kind of my focal point. So I want that one not hidden too much. And then we have one of these trees. And then we're going to take one of these gold ones and just kind of, I want a longer stemmed one, tuck it in behind those. Then we're going to take our other trees and we're just kind of layering these in. There's no right or wrong way or rhyme or reason. I'm just kind of putting them where they fit, but trying to make them look random. There, I think I like that. So for this square touches this entire half of my treescape. So I very carefully lifted this square add glue as close to the edges as I can without going over, and I didn't go nuts with it. Like, there is glue on there, but I don't want it to ooze out, because again, anything sticky that's on the face of this, the sequins and glitters are gonna cling to, and I don't want them to get stuck. And then I laid this down. So this is gonna kind of secure the trees on this side in place so that they're not gonna go anywhere while I'm gluing the rest of them. And then we are gonna go back and handle those, you'll see. So this one touches these two. So again, opposed to having to sit and move everything around and trying to get it back in the same spot, just very lightly went all around the edges of this. And then we're gonna lay it back down. So it again is touching and overlapping these two trees, so it's gonna hold those in place. Now what I did is I came in and I gently, without like hard creasing it, just pulled my trees up, added glue, and laid them back down. Okay. Next, we're gonna come in with our rhinestones and the take your pick tool. We're using the side that has the wax. And I took a big sequin and added it to the top of my tree, almost like a star. And then I took some of these small ones and put them on the dots that we stamped that are ornaments. Just at random. Again, no rhyme or reason. Once that's done, we move to our frame. So the frame already has glass on it, so it's already prepared for us to add shaker elements. So you can add, I mean, really anything you want. I'll show you some of just the random that I have. So a white glitter mix, or even the subtle sequins from Stampin' Up, which are back ordered right now, is gonna look like snow, which is nice. Silver would be a nice added effect and would add more of the silver that you get in the subtle sequins. However, this frame is gold. I don't have gold, so metallics are out. They also have snowflake sequins in different varieties. So it's pretty much whatever you're feeling. This one, these smaller, more glitter than sequins, is going to stick to your glass more than the actual sequins would, which those will just kind of move around more freely, but I don't mind them sticking to the glass a little bit. To me, that's not the end of the world. So we're gonna put in some of those. Some of my actual snowflakes. And why not use some of these big ones? I don't like even numbers, so we're not only going to do 4. I feel like this could probably use just a little more. Okay. So the more full it is, the more it's going to cover. So if you look at this one that I had initially, the one we're duplicating, I personally feel like I overfilled that, but I think it looks legit. It looks like snow. The other one, this pink one, it's just barely, it's there, it's noticeable, you can shake it around, but it's not a snow pile. So the amount of snow and shaker and sequins and glitter that you would use is really going to depend on the type of feel that you're going for. So you can do that. Pop that back in there. Bend your brad things back down. And we have a snowy Christmas tree scape. I didn't stop there. I wanted something a little extra special on mine. So the Whimsy and Wonder Suite pairs with the wonderful Snowflakes, which are very pretty laser cut, die cut snowflakes, all ready to use. You just got to pop them out. So pop one out. Okay. And then grab some of your dimensionals. The dimensionals, I noticed, fit perfectly. They're even the right shape for the center of that snowflake. So if you only put one on there, it doesn't clear the frame. So I pull the sticky off of the first one and I add a second one. And then I put this in the corner. And there we have it. Our Christmas tree shaker frame featuring our Whimsy Wonder Suite. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and have fun with it. If you make a shaker frame, please let me know. I want to see. I hope you guys have fun and come up with all kinds of different things. I'm interested to make some with some different sets and see what I come up with. These are also going to be given as free gifts to my customers this month. So if you order from me, you will get one as in the mail from me as a present. As my way of showing that I appreciate you guys and thank you for your support. So, again, it's Leslie Klein, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. My Facebook group is Paper Period Ink Period Love Period, or you can find me on my Stampin' Up! Website, leslieklein.stampinup.net. Happy crafting, you guys. Bye!